I learned this from Mel Robbins, and I use it for myself, so I want you ladies to use it every day. She says, when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror before you walk out that door, and you give yourself a high five. And that makes your brain feel empowered, just like every sports player does that. When they do something good, they hit high five. It makes something. So I want to stand up a minute, and let's act like if you had a mirror in front of you. And I want you to really mean it, because what I'm going to tell you today, I want you to really put it in your mind. So I want you to stand up and say, high five yourself and say, you're a bad boss lady. I was going to say the word, but I'm going to leave it out. Bad A boss lady. Yes, and use this every day. I took it from Mel Robbins, and I swear I love it. When I have a bad day or I'm waking up in a rush and I know that I'm not going to make it, I'm like, high five, high five. And, you know, it just activates it. So really use this every day. Okay, so let's start with this. I'm going to start off this PowerPoint that I'm going to be doing. It's called The Journey. And why the journey? Because we all have different journeys, whether it's personal, business, your family relationship, everything. This is a journey that you live in life. And I'm going to start it off with a quote that I absolutely love, because it just resonates with me so much, because that's the way that we did it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. And everybody's always afraid to take that one step because of whatever reason it is. Failure, you don't feel like you could do it, whatever the case may be. So when I start talking about all of that I'm going to speak about, I'm going to speak about business, relationship, and family, but they're all one. So whether you're a CEO of your own business, you're a CEO of your house, you could be a housewife and you're the CEO of your life. You could be the CEO of your entrepreneurship. You could be a CEO. You could be a student. You're still a CEO of your own life. So make sure that you understand that, because if you take that CEO role, and no matter where you're at in your journey in life right now, you could be a student, but you're still the CEO of your life. Where are you going? You're the one that's going to control that. So make sure that you have a CEO mindset when you're doing anything in life, because that's the way that I have been able to get through my life since I was 18 years old. I know most of you know my story. I don't know if the other half do, but myself and my husband met when I was 18 years old and he was 22. We both come from very, very humble family. No money at all, no entrepreneurships, no nothing. So when I met him, we started dating, and he goes, I'm not going to be your normal guy working 9 to 5. And I said, okay. You know, he goes, that's not my deal. I want to be my own boss. I'm going to run my own business. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm like, okay, I didn't really know anything about entrepreneurship at 18 years old, coming from a really poor family. No clue. I was working. I had dropped out of high school in 10th grade. He had dropped out of high school in 9th grade. We didn't know each other. Went to the same school, but he's 4 years older than me, so we never met during high school. And I looked at him, and I'm like, he goes, you're going to take the journey with me? Because if not, it's just not going to really work, because I'm not going to be that corporate guy, nor that 9 to 5. And I looked at him, and I said, well, I'm already at the bottom. I'm going to take the journey with you, because if I fall, I'm not going to really hurt myself. I don't have anything to lose. So I looked at him, I said, let's go for it. We're going to take this journey. Where it's going to go, I don't know. But and I looked at him, I'm like, we don't have $1. How do you think you're going to run a business? How are we going to? He goes, it doesn't matter. We're going to do this. And I said, okay, let's go for it. So we started many businesses, and of course, they failed. We didn't have the money. We didn't have resources. We didn't have the knowledge of how to run a business. But what we did was that when we did those failures, we didn't fall in a hole and get covered up and say, oh my God, I failed. I'm not going to do this no more. Cry and not get out of that hole. What we did with that was that we wrote down the mistakes. What did we do wrong? Why didn't this happen? What happened? So we would take those failures and we took them in as our university degree that we didn't have. We took them in and said, okay, these are what we did wrong. And most of the time was that we just didn't have the money, because in order to run a business, you need money. That was one of our biggest, but there was other failures, so we wrote them down. The next step we took, we started another business. And again, it didn't work out. Money was the main reason, always. But we kept on going. 6 months later, I get pregnant by mistake at 19 years old. Just met Bobby. We didn't know each other. We were like, okay. We looked at each other and we're like, what do we do now? Because our parents had no money, none of the two parents. So we're like, we have now another human being that we're bringing into this world that we're responsible for. So we went back to plan A. We both went to work. Bobby got 2 jobs. I went to school. I started going to school for ultrasound tech, and I also had a part-time job. Meanwhile that we were doing that, we were still in our minds, how are we going to get back into this entrepreneurship? How are we going to get back to this entrepreneurship? In that journey, we came up with a business that we needed $1,700 to start it. It was a manual, a book manual that Bobby used to work for the Better Business Bureau and ran into this business that he had already seen in the USA Today paper, because back then, no internet, no smartphone, no nothing. We were just newspaper, and that's it. That was our resources. And we decided to say, we're going to take a plunge at this. I'm working already. He's working 2 jobs. We're like, so my mom hears us speaking about this and lends us. She comes up to him and she goes, I have $2,000 put away. And I'll give you the $1,700 if you guys are going to really focus on it and really make it happen, because I can't afford to lose that $1,700. So Bobby and I looked at each other and we're like, we're going to do this. So my mom lent us some money. We got this business we knew nothing about, nothing, zero. We had no clue what a leasing broker firm was. Had no clue. Business, commercial loan businesses. So we went at it, and Bobby quit one of his jobs, the daytime job, the Better Business Bureau. I stayed working at the medical office that I was working at, and he would work at night at a restaurant. During the day, he had my daughter, and he would do these facts. He would solicit business. He was a great salesperson. So he would solicit the business. At night, when I would get back home, I would do the typing, because it was a typewriter, and I would do the faxings to all of the businesses that he was soliciting or working on and so forth. We did that for 18 months, something like that. At that time, we started making progress with this business because we put all of our failures and we put them into this business, and we said, we cannot do this. We got to do it this. And being so focused, at that point, we lost touch with our friends, our families. We didn't travel. We didn't go out. There was no dinners. There was no nothing. It was all about this business, because we knew we had no way. We couldn't fail. There was not an option. We needed this as oxygen because we had a baby, we had my mom's money, and we had no other option. We didn't want to go back to work for somebody. So we had to make it work. So we have this saying that we have, myself and my husband, is PMA all day, every day, is positive mental attitude all day, every day. And with that, I know it sounds corny. I know you're going to say, oh my God, that's not going to make my life better. But that's what we lived on. Every morning we would wake up and we were like positive. We would think about all the good stuff. What are we going to do that's going to make it different? And that PMA, still to this day, 30-something years later, you go around and they see my husband, or they see it's PMA, and PMA all over our office, the business we sold. Everybody is PMA, but that's what got us through. PMA, and then we have another one that's non-refundable minutes. And non-refundable minutes is what made us focus too. Those minutes that you have in your life, you can never get them back. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're God. I don't care if you're the president of the United States. Nobody gives you the minutes back. You can't buy them. You can't get them. They're gone. So if you lose those minutes, you're losing how to get forward in life. So for us, the PMA all day and non-refundable minutes is what made us be able to be successful in the business we started. And this business that we started with the $1,700 that my mom lent me until 2019, that we were able to sell the business for $1 billion evaluation. So, and get this, babies, all of you in this room are able to accomplish it if you wanted to. Bobby and I, high school dropouts, no money, no education. I have dyslexia, I have reading comprehension, I spell terrible. I mean, you could name it, I have it. But we have common sense. We knew what we wanted. We had focus. We have positive mental attitude all day, every day. We do not waste our minutes on things that don't make any sense for us. If it doesn't bring you value, you're losing. And if you can't give values to others, you're losing. So just alone with that, it's so important you'll be able to get anything you want in life. And I know it sounds corny, but I'm standing up here and I can't tell you any other way that we did it. How did we get there? It's not luck. That lucky, oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky about what? We bust our butts on a daily basis. To this day, Bobby and I work every single day in our business. We do not stop. We are there every single day, Monday through Friday, with our employees working. So it's not luck. It's just that we're focused. We know what we want out of life. We know where our journey is going. And we're both aligned, which is extremely important